This is a video response to the internet's belief that Daenerys and Jon Snow will end up marrying each other. I know Daenerys' best ruling strategy, aside from her dragons, is to attract the Highborns by making them swear fealty because of her birthright and an alliance of marriage, being a single queen and all. Let's face it, there are no great prospects in Westeros, aside from Jon. I mean, who is left? The Greyjoys? She's never gonna marry Theon. Well, he has no dick. And then there's Euron. He's Satan's child. Who wants to marry that guy? He's never gonna be proper for Daenerys. He's just not her style, and that's never going to work out. Plus, nobody really cares for the Greyjoys in the realm. They might be a highborn, but they are the poo-poo of highborns. She ain't gonna marry Jaime. We all suspect that the Kingslayer is to become the Kinslayer sometimes in the next 2 seasons. So that's not gonna work out. Anyways, Jaime only likes Cersei somehow. In the books, Cersei falls out of love for him. You really see that she doesn't really love him. She just likes to use him for her benefit. Justice would be for Tyrion to marry Daenerys, as he is a highborn and the most fit to rule and the most intelligent and really the one who makes the most sense. But the realm will never agree to that. Anyways, I think they're all fed up of Lannisters. But if the show creators would put them together, I wouldn't be surprised. My personal reasons to put a huge X on Jon Snow's and Daenerys' relationship and to speak now or forever hold my peace is because I think they would be terrible rulers together. And the first thing on Daenerys' tongue is always, the usurper this, the usurper that. But I'm sorry, didn't you go to Yunka and Marine and even Astapor before that and do the same thing? And the worst part of it is that you sacked everything, you killed all the masters, and who did you leave in power? People who were not fit to rule. I mean, yes, you're a conqueror, we give you you free the slaves, but you're really bad at administrating the politics. Even in Marine, when you decided to stay there, what happened? You can't even rule properly. I mean, she means well, but she can't do it well. And then there's Jon Snow. Yes, he's very good at inspiring people to follow him, just like Daenerys. I think he's a great military leader. He doesn't always make the best military decisions, as we saw in Battle of the Bastards. Even when he's trying to rally the Northmen, who has to speak in his place? A little 10-year-old girl. Come on, Jon. You can't even convince them to put themselves together, and she has to elect you king. I mean, Jon Snow got killed by his own crew. In the book, it's worse. He cuts his friends out of his life, and he exiles them to other watch. I mean, you really have to have an entourage, people who you trust. And what you do, you cut people and you send all your friends, your backing, the people who elected you, away. Because he doesn't always communicate what's going on in his head. And that's a big problem. But I have to admit, like everyone last season, I was rooting for that. When she said that she was coming as a single queen, I really wanted her and Jon Snow to speak together and instead be down. Then I started reading the books. There's a passage where Dany is taking siege over Yunkai, and she's very upset. It is after a fight with Jorah, and she's thinking back that she is the last Targaryen. The line ends with her. This passage made me think. Yeah, she would marry a highborn in Westeros, certainly Jon, but not if she knew he was a Targaryen. Because she wouldn't want the line to end. Technically, Daenerys, as far as we know, she's barren. She cannot have any children. And the show has not disproved that because she's had an affair with Dario and she's never gotten pregnant. However, when you read the book, there's a part at the end when she's captured by the Dothrakis where one can question whether she is barren or not. Because at the end, she's bleeding and she's counting how many moons it's been since she's bleeding, 1 or 2 moons. So 1 or 2 months. And we're thinking she's talking about her period, that she's having a miscarriage at that point. So it's unclear whether she is barren or not. If she is barren and she discovers that Jon Snow is a Targaryen, I don't think that she will marry him because she wouldn't want the line to end with them. Anyways, I don't think that Jon would ever marry her because he is not the type of person who would marry through incest. I really don't think so. And also the idea that people think that him and Sansa are gonna marry, I think like they're crazy. If he marries Sansa, they're cousins. If he marries Daenerys, she's his aunt. I mean, it doesn't make sense either way. He has too much honor, and I think he would never go through something like that. And Westeros already went through Cersei and Jaime, and I believe they're tired of incest, and I don't think it would sit well with the people. So that's why I don't think that he would do it for those reasons. Daenerys would do the ultimate sacrifice, and she would not marry Jon Snow, especially if she suspects that she's barren. She wouldn't do it. And I think that's one thing that people have omitted in their minds, and they're always like, oh, wishful thinking, wishful thinking. But when it comes to politics, and if you want to ascertain your power, you need to have